guys, my name is Yaki. I am an artist here on YouTube as well as Instagram and TikTok. You can find me at IamtheYaki at all my socials. And I just completed my first art class of 2022. So I want to use this year as a very growing process. I want to learn a lot about art. I want to become a better artist. The whole mentality of be better every day. I'm really trying to embrace that this year. So I decided, since I already have a membership to it, I'm going to use Skillshare as the platform that I will use to take a bunch of different art classes, and I want to share my journey with you guys. So the first class that I took this year was the 28-day anatomy challenge by Jazza on Skillshare. The 28-day anatomy challenge by Jazza is a course that breaks down anatomy into a 3-step process. So you learn about blocking, you learn about where the different muscle groups are along the body, and then how to add definition on top of that. So there's a weird little skin ripple here, or if there's a muscle popping out because it's doing an action. You'll learn about all those different things in the course, and that's kind of it at its base, is those 3 things. But you'll be able to draw anything from really muscular superheroes to just anatomically correct normal human bodies as well at the end of it, which was super cool to be able to do both. So the teacher for this course is Jazza. If you don't know who Jazza is, go ahead and like and subscribe this video, then pause it, and then go ahead and Google Jazza, Jazza, and you will see that he is an amazing artist as well as content creator, and just seems like a good guy as well, which is really nice. He's a huge inspiration to me, both as an artist and a content creator. I appreciate his I appreciate his authenticity and also his dedication to the craft. I think it's amazing that he still has the time to be able to share knowledge with all of us artists, and I appreciate and will consume any content that he puts out. I picked this course because I want to become a better artist this year, and I feel like jumping into a territory that I am 1, scared of, and 2, don't really know a lot about was really going to be a good jumping off point, just cannonball into the depths of what I'm scared of as an artist. So that's why I picked this course to start off with this year, so I can stop just hiding behind my little same doodles that I feel like I do all the time, and explore a whole new side of creativity. Alright, so let's talk about how difficult I found this course to be. According to the website, it says that it is for beginner to intermediate artist, and I would swing that more towards the intermediate artist, someone that already has muscle memory and drawing lines and shapes and can, at least visualize how the human body is formed, I guess. If I were a beginner going into this course, I think I would have become really frustrated and just overwhelmed at the amount of time that it would have taken to complete, especially with the amount of practice that you need to put in to be good at this course. So I would say that it's more towards the intermediate side than it is the beginner side for difficulty. Alright, for the tools for this video, you don't really need that much stuff, which is really nice because you probably have all of this stuff already laying around your house. So the only cost factor will be the Skillshare class itself. But things that you're going to need are a thin leaded pencil. This one is a 0.5 mechanical pencil. It's nice to be able to, before you put the ink down, to do a nice thin line over your blocking. So a thin leaded pencil, you'll need that. You're going to need just an ink marker, black marker. This is the marker that I've been into lately. It's also the same one that he used in the class, just happenstance that I had it. Then you're also going to need just a regular pencil for shading. This one's a black wing, but you do not need a black wing, you just need a pencil to do shading. Most important things you'll need for this class, beyond paper, something to write on, is going to be colored pencils. So these are going to be the 2 things that you're going to use most in this class. For sure need a blue one. This is where you're going to do all of your blocking, all of your like first muscles you're going to put down with this. I went out and got an erasable one because I didn't have one to start, but you could absolutely just use colored pencils. That's what I did for a majority of the class. And then your best friend is an eraser. These are going to be the tools that you're going to use the most in this class. Keep it handy, keep it right next to you, because she gonna put in work, this one. So that's all you need for the class. Super approachable. I love it. It's great. All right, the only other thing that you're gonna need for this class is time. Even though the class says that it's only, I think it said it was like 2.5 hours long in total for all of the lessons, you need to add on another 50%, 100% to that time, because you need to practice a lot to be able to get this skill down. The way that the course is broken up, it's suggested to do 2 or 3 lessons per week, so that's how it fractions out into being like a 28-day long challenge. I did this in a week and it was a lot of work. It took a lot of time just sitting down and grinding out and just like drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. So I would suggest that if you're going to do this class, give yourself a month, space it out, plan it out, like when you know you'll have time, because you're going to want to do the video, which is about, I think they average around like 10, 11 minutes each, but you're going to want to add another 5 minutes to that. So now we're coming up to 15, 16 minutes each, where you're going to be pausing it and drawing and redrawing and drawing and redrawing, and then you need to give your time after the video to continue educating yourself, not by like learning more, but just like practicing what you learned that day. So just drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. So time-wise, I think it's approachable. Like I said, I got it done in a week, but that was a lot of hard work of just grinding that out to do all of the lessons. But I think that doing it over a month would be more beneficial to you, so you can have a more relaxed time and actual time to like sit down, practice, and then go to sleep and your brain process what you learned, because that's an important part of learning as well. The lessons are broken down by body part. It's broken up into arms, legs, torso, and back are the 4 main groups. Part of the lesson will be just about just putting down muscles on bones, just sketching out where things are. And then the second part of the lesson is the function of that muscle. So like if I'm going like this, which muscles are engaged, which muscles are tight, which ones are loose. And what's really nice is that while you're doing this, you can like flex your own arm and like feel. So like this muscle is engaged when I do this, like this muscle is not engaged when I do this. So you can start to see what's going to pop out and what is not going to pop out whenever you're drawing. Alright, so let's talk about pros and cons for the video. Thank you, Callie. So let's make some like little lists going on either side. So this is going to be the pros and this is going to be the cons. Alright, pros in this hand. My favorite part about the course was that the teacher was very encouraging and very motivating to continue with the course. I knew that what one section was going to be leading to in the next section. It was very clearly laid out what we were learning about, which was super nice. And I feel like I was left with a lot of tools that I could take from that class to continue into art. So I found that to be very helpful and beneficial. So that was probably my favorite part about the course as a whole. Then some cons, I will say, is that it could be a little fast sometimes. If he was drawing like one part, it would just like the video would just like skip to like the drawing be completed, and so I didn't know what happened in between those 2 steps. So I just kind of felt like I was just copying at the end of it. Wasn't bad, but I did have to like flip back to like previous sections sometimes to better understand like what muscles were where. That was probably like my least favorite part of the class, was that like the gaps that happen sometimes. Another pro to the class is that it doesn't take a lot of tools. So like I had just about everything laying around in my house. The only thing I went out and bought was those red and blue erasable color pencils, but they were like $1 each at my art store. So beyond the cost of investing in Skillshare itself, which you can get a free trial if you want, my link is down below. Not sponsored, but my link is down below. Beyond the cost of the course itself, I had to spend $2 on top of it for 2 color pencils, which I didn't necessarily need. I just wanted the erasable ones so it would look a little bit better in my sketchbook. So then another I don't remember which hand was which. But another con is that it wasn't really talked about for proportions. Like what is it, the rules, like you're like 7 heads tall or something like that. That was never mentioned. I could see lines on Jazza's paper of like how the proportions would work, but it was never spoken about or talked about. Maybe it's something that I should have already known going into the course, but I didn't. I've literally taken 3 art classes in my entire life. I took 1 in middle school, 1 my senior year of high school, and then I took a printmaking class in college. So I don't really have a classically trained artistic background, so it would have been nice to have mentioned how long a torso should be compared to how big a head should be compared to, you know, how long the legs should be, besides just using my own body as reference for proportion. Like, I was literally finding myself, like, I didn't know like where the hand should stop, so I was like putting my arm and I'm like, okay, like the middle of my thigh is where my hand stops, but these things weren't mentioned in the course. And then I'll end on a pro. A final pro is that I felt very accomplished taking this course. So at the end of it, I just did like a little speed run. I just blocked out a body, drew the muscles on there, and then like compared it after the fact to some other things that had been drawn with using the class. And I was very surprised that, you know, I put muscles in the right place, that my proportions were pretty good, and that, you know, I actually like learned how to do this and that I now have this skill. So just got to continue on with it. Maybe do some like how to draw like Marvel books. I have one from like middle school that I still have, which would be cool to do again. And then I have another one that's like newer. It's like how to draw like the Stanley way or something like that. So let me know down in the comments if you let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do some comic book character drawing, because that could be fun. So awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me over on Instagram. I'm still doing that daily art challenge. If you want to follow along, the prompts are up there too if you want to do some, and tag me in it as well. And I appreciate you being here. I love you. I love you. Did I ever tell you that I love you? Because that just fell out of my mouth. Oh, and I also want to say thank you all for breaking the triple digits for subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. We broke over 100 and I feel so happy about that. I didn't think that, you know, this YouTube would, you know, start to take off, and it is starting to, and it's very cool, and I appreciate it, and it just drives me to want to work harder and make better videos for you all. So hell yeah, 2022 is going to be awesome, and I might learn how to talk. So cool. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all for being here, and I'll see you next week with another one.